chickadees, welcome back to my channel. Today, you and I are going to have a cozy chit chat. We're going to be talking about some pretty vulnerable stuff. I have been struggling a lot, and life has not been easy for me mentally. I feel like this is one of, listen to her purr. This is one of the harder mental health chapters that I've gone through in my life. And it's always easy for me to talk about my mental health in like the past tense, like what I used to go through, how that used to feel for me, because I've overcome it. But I think that there's a lot of vulnerability and in the same breath, courage, to talk about what you're currently going through. So I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys today and just kind of share what my experiences are right now, because it's a lot. So last year in October, I finally took the step to go to therapy, and I was definitely expecting that to open wounds, to heal, because why the fuck else would you go to therapy? Everybody has their reasons. Maybe that was judgmental to say. Anyways, I started going to therapy in October of 2025, and I started to explore a lot of really heavy stuff, mainly like my trauma from my childhood, the mental and emotional abuse that I received, and how that has like manifested in me as an adult. And like, for those of you that don't know, like I have CPTSD. I have OCD. That was a recent diagnosis. And I just, looking back, it just makes so much sense as to like why I would end up as an adult with these things, because of like what I've been through. But honestly, like, I don't remember a lot of shit. And what I do remember, it's very abstract. And I was telling my therapist this, and I've always felt very mean to myself about this. Like, my inner critic grabs a hold of this and is like, you fucking idiot. You're so fucking stupid. Like, why can't you remember anything? You're a fucking grown ass adult. You're in your 30s. Like, fucking remember shit. Relax, inner critic. Because my therapist, I was telling her, and she was like, so this just like, if anything, confirms for us how traumatized you were. Like, people who were untraumatized can remember things in a linear, or like along a timeline. They know where things were, when they were, what happened. Like, sure, everybody's memory kind of like differs a little bit, but for somebody who is traumatized, you're going to remember what keeps you safe. And that's it. Your mind is going to protect you. It's going to prioritize what is going to keep you safe and what is not going to keep you safe, what is important and what's not. And so I'm having this really hard time right now of uncovering things, but also struggling to remember things, and like what's real and maybe what my child self remembered in a really emotional way that was like heightened and maybe not completely true. But I mean, that could be argued. Like, the emotional experience is what matters. But anyways, I really feel like I've been uncovering a lot, and it's heavy. And the way that uncovering all of this has manifested in me, I don't feel fully comfortable sharing exactly what I've been going through, just because it's just so vulnerable for me and scary to talk about. But something has happened in the past few months that I thought I was completely over. Like I thought I had completely healed. And that demon, or rather that coping mechanism, reared its ugly head in the biggest, meanest, fullest way. And I feel like for the past month, I've been drowning. Mentally, very unwell. Anxiety through the roof, self-hate crushing me, and just feeling fucking hopeless. Again, these are things that that I've always struggled with, but in the past few months, I've been teetering into that space of I call it the scary dark place, where you're teetering on the edge of suicide. And I feel like there have been more days out of the month than not that I have not wanted to exist. I don't want to kill myself. I don't have an active plan, but I just don't want to exist. I don't want to exist in that pain. And so this thing that I don't really want to say yet, I'll probably talk about it in the future once I'm better. But this thing that I thought I had completely healed, or at least gotten over, has come back around in such a dramatic way that even my therapist was like, girl, I'm concerned. We need to change something, because what's happening is you're probably gonna die at some point. So let's change something. And so I had the first ever real breakthrough in therapy. I've always heard people talk about that, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand. I've never had good therapy experiences. She's my first therapist that I just absolutely adore. And she's helpful. She knows how to help me to help myself. Through our therapy together, she kind of led the way for me to discover by myself, that the thing that I'm doing is purely to distract myself from the pain that I was uncovering in therapy. And I'm really good at that. I am really, really good at distracting myself with pain that I can control, so that I don't have to deal with pain that feels insurmountable and overwhelming. And so I've been on this journey over the past few weeks of trying to nurture myself again. I haven't been doing the thing that I don't want to talk about as much, and I feel like I'm making a lot of progress, but that click in my head, specifically when she offered me tenderness, compassion, and love in a moment where I was berating myself about not being able to remember anything or keep anything straight. When she offered me love in that moment, it changed something. I felt people always talk about their neural pathways and changing the route to get to a certain destination. It's I felt it snap together, and it shifted everything from this is all your fault, you're fucking stupid, to wait a damn minute. Who did this to you? This is not your fault. You don't remember things because you were fucking abused as a child. You were not set up for success mentally. You were not nurtured in a way that would set you up to feel safe in this world. that is not your fault. Once she helped me to make that epiphany, I feel like the healing process has been healthier. I'm not going to say easier because it's still fucking hard, but I'm approaching it in a healthier way because it's easier to feel things that you're in control of. It's easier to like hurt yourself than it is to be hurt by others. At least to me, that's been my experience. And it's always been that way. Like when I was younger, like I was self-harming. I was cutting myself. And like, why else would a 12-year-old do that? Why else would a 12-year-old literally hurt themselves and want to die and write in their journal, like, I want to kill myself this year? If not like being hurt externally and not feeling safe, like make it make sense. So right now, I'm dealing with a lot of grief and a lot of heaviness surrounding my childhood, who I am now and who I thought I was going to be, the experiences that I had versus grieving the experiences that I never got to have. In my personal life, in my career life, shifting from doing tarot readings full time to being a content creator on TikTok, YouTube, and streaming on Twitch to like follow my dreams and make that shift is like, may not seem like that big of a deal, but honestly, it's a very vulnerable experience for me because in my tarot, I am customer service oriented. I am professional Mara. I am helpful therapist Mara. And on my streams and in my vlogs with you guys, like, that's me. I don't have this choice to like put on a customer service mask and be like, how can I help you today? It's me or I don't stream. And that is really scary for me because for the first time that I can genuinely ever think of, I'm letting people see me for me. And of course, there are things that I'm keeping to myself. There are things that like I'm not ready to share about my personality or like about me, my past, my present. Like and I deserve that right. I have that right. But I think some of it, I'm just too scared to like let myself be seen and loved because what if I'm not loved? What if I make a fool of myself? What if somebody has a really strong opinion about how I feel and what I have to say, and it makes me feel like I did when I was young, small and insignificant and needing to be managed. It's just a journey, guys, and I thought I was going to cry because I've been crying a lot lately, but that's probably why I'm not crying today, sharing this with you guys. I just feel like, oh, fuck. It's a lot. It's heavy. And I'm angry. I have a lot of anger too. I feel pissed that I am traumatized, that my brain works the way it does because of like how my parents decided to raise me, the decisions that they made and how it affects me and how it honestly continues to affect me. Because if we're being real, like there's not a whole lot of changes going on there. At least not enough open dialogue and care to understand and effort to like heal and have an adult relationship with me. Obviously, I'm still in my parents' lives. I'm still in my family's life, but it's not like a no contact situation, but there's basically I've given up on the vision of like having a normal relationship with my parents. And that sucks. That's so shitty. And I can't imagine having kids and not wanting to know them and love them and support them and hear them out and apologize to them when I've made mistakes. Like I just like I can't I don't understand. And good. I'm glad I don't understand. I chose this mug because it matches. So through all of this pain, shoveling up the past, digging up the truths in my heart and in my soul, and through engaging in very self-hating, self-harming activities, my therapist and I have decided to start me on some medication. So my history and experiences with medication have definitely been influenced. The first time that I tried to kill myself when I was in my teens, my parents put me in a mental institution, and a horrible experience. The doctor misdiagnosed me with bipolar disorder. I'm not sure if that's how you say it now. I feel like I learned somewhere that it's not called bipolar anymore. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if it's not. That's just what it was when I was younger. But that was like the thing that doctors like diagnosed everybody with. Everybody with a fucking mood disorder was bipolar. It was fucking stupid. But I would put on a cocktail of like 8 different medications, and it was horrible. And my mom has always been super fucking vocal about she doesn't like those types of things. Like it is what it is, but like it's gonna make you sicker than a dog, like, or like, I don't know, whatever. She did not approve, and that was clear to me. And so I felt, well, first of all, those pills weren't fucking doing shit to me, because it wasn't targeting the actual issue. But I didn't benefit at all from medication during my childhood because my mom was in my ear being like, this and this and this, you're not actually depressed. All you need is exercise and to eat healthy and get some fucking sunshine, bitch. So I weaned myself off of that. Kind of. I mostly just stopped it, which was really bad. I could have died. Like I was on lithium, fucking anti-anxiety medication, like 2 different ones. One that like, one of those made me dizzy, so they put me on something that like took away the dizziness, and then that one made me nauseous, so they put me on something else that took away nausea. And that's how I ended up on like this cocktail. Like it was fucking ridiculous. Anyways, so the second time I was put on pills, I was put on Prozac. And genuinely, I don't remember it doing literally anything to me at all. But I do remember my mom in my ear saying, you're literally suicidal, so it's the pill's fault. Girl, I was fucking suicidal before I started this. Like, make that make sense to me, because it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It wasn't the pill's fault. The pill, I didn't fucking feel anything from that. I was already suicidal. But growing up, I was like, oh, okay, like you're my parental figure. I believe what you're saying to me. This is probably making me suicidal. And so I lived with that narrative until like, honestly, like recently, I finally detached from what she had to say about medication, and started to like form my own fucking opinion about it. But anyways, I think I was on another one too, and I think the same kind of shit. And I have come to the understanding, and I'm sure this is probably common sense to a lot of people, but it wasn't to me. No matter how good the pill is, if you're environment, if the way that you're being nurtured and loved and cared for is fucking toxic and inconsistent, that pill is not going to do shit. It is not going to do shit. And then my latest experience on, it wasn't an SSRI, it was something that focuses on the dopamine levels, Lexapro. The worst anxiety attacks of my life. Horrible. Oh my God, every single day. So I stopped taking that. I was like, that doesn't do shit. And so I guess I'm just fucked. Like, I can't do anything. Can't do anything to help my brain. And so my therapist was like, there are other options. Let me refer you. She referred me to like one of her old colleagues. And I went to see her, which was terrifying. Honestly, my OCD did not like that at all. And honestly, my CPTSD was super triggered because if you've never been to a psychiatrist, it's basically, to a traumatized person, it feels like an interrogation about what your brain does and doesn't do. And for me, I was fucking stressed the whole time because I can't remember anything. Nothing feels linear. Nothing feels right. Everything's all fucking abstract. Like, I can remember feelings, I can remember instances, but it's all over the place. I don't know if that thing happened like when I was fucking 20 or if it happened when I was fucking 28. It's all over the place. And so that whole experience, she's like asking me to describe things and I'm like, bitch, I can't. I can try, and I did, but like, I don't know how to describe this to you. And I'm very good if somebody prompts me, like if somebody's like, this is what you feel if you have this, and this is what you don't. And I'm like, yes, 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 and no. Like, I can do that. I can do yes and no's. Like, tell me what it is, and then I'll like answer yes or no about it. But like, I can't fucking remember anything. So don't ask me. Don't ask me to describe my experiences. And especially like with OCD, like being such a recent thing, I haven't given myself permission to explore my compulsions or like the logistics of my OCD until I recently got my diagnosis. And so it's like a new thing. And she was like, what is the obsession and what is the compulsion? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I know in my brain, in my body, I'm like, yes, this, and this, and this. But then there's nothing when I go to explain it. Like, I can't explain it. It's the most frustrating thing. It's so horrible. So I felt like I bombed it. I felt like I was like, literally, you can't bomb a fucking psychiatrist visit. But that's how I felt. And I've always said that. But she obviously didn't think I was like lying about anything. She took me seriously because she did prescribe me some stuff. So I am a new Zoloft baby. Today is my third day, and a couple things that I've noticed already. Calmer. Just a little bit calmer. A little bit. Very nauseous the first day. Semi-nauseous the second day. I imagine I'll have some nausea today. It usually happens like a couple hours after I take it. But I'm taking 50 milligrams right now, and she wants me to eventually get to a place where I feel is right. Milligram is kind of irrelevant. If I'm feeling good, then we'll stop there. But she said that most people with OCD do well at 250 milligrams or more. So we're slowly working our way there. But I get anxiety around medication, and taking new things, especially SSRIs. I'm immediately on 50 milligrams. The first one, I'm going to get serotonin syndrome, and it's over for me. So She also prescribed me an additional sleep aid because I do take trazodone for sleep. And she gave me an anti-anxiety medication, or one that kind of like helps me not feel triggered as much. But it's not like a controlled substance or anything. It's not like gabapentin or anything. So it's, I think, helping. It's only been 3 days, girl. But I'm hopeful that this experience with medication is going to be different and more healthy, more effective, and that I'll be able to heal through a lot of the pain that is just a little bit too overwhelming for me right now, unmedicated. I do view it as just a tool. It's not, I understand, it's not like a cure-all. It's not something that like I'm going to take and then, yay, I'm cured. I still have to do the work, but I think that I'm trying really hard and I deserve some assistance. And you do too. Everybody deserves some assistance. And if that's what you need, girl, give it to yourself. Ask for help. Let yourself be helped because you are worthy of that. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of loving yourself. And you're worthy of whatever tools are going to help you to live your best life and to increase your well-being, because you're a human and you're allowed to take up space just as much as the person that you love and adore. Just as much. So that's what's going on for me. I've been missing a lot of streams, been feeling really rough around the edges. And again, it's really hard for me to talk about while I'm struggling with it, but it is what it is. And I'm doing my best. And I just wanted to share it here. I wonder where I'll be in a year from now with my mental health, and like, hopefully I've made some progress. I'm not going to say I'll be like crazy better because I don't want to put that pressure on myself, but like, hopefully I've made some progress and have healed some other things and had maybe at least another epiphany of sorts, or made like some kind of neural connection in my brain that doesn't make me hate myself as much. But we'll see. We'll see where I'm at. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here and letting me be vulnerable with y'all. I do like to have these mental health chats with you guys. I think it's important to be vulnerable and to share my experience. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking up a little bit too much space with that, but I like to hear what other people are thinking and feeling, so why not me? I love you guys. I will see you at the next vlog. Bye.